What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Sunday/Saturday evening. Since the Buckeyes had an early noon game, I figured I'd get this out to you. This is technically your Sunday daily Blitz for September 10th, 2023, but I want to release this as early as possible because you guys are probably getting a little sauced up after the Buckeye game, and maybe you're still feeling some things about the game, and maybe I can make you a little crazier. That's my goal here, just to make people nuts. Anyway, I'm already a little crazy, and sometimes the Buckeyes, I blame them. I blame them and my wife. Ohio State and my wife make me crazy. So you guys know where I'm coming from. So let's get into this game. Buckeyes win 35-7 over the Pens, the Penguins. Not exactly how we saw it going. I think most of us saw a shutout coming. Did not expect a touchdown coming out of the defense, but shit like this happens. We'll get into that. Cam Martinez issue. Seems to be a recurring issue for some reason. So 35-7, Buckeyes roll. Let's check out the stats here real quick. We could start with we'll get into third downs. So obviously the quarterbacks, that's the big story. Let's lead it right there. Kyle McCord goes 14 of 20 for 258 and 3 touchdowns. Devin Brown gets a lot more snaps this time around. He actually got more plays, more snaps than Kyle. Devin was 7 of 13, 101 through the air, no touchdowns. Devin did have 6 carries for 9 yards. No touchdowns there either. So, all right. I think honestly, how is this not Kyle's job? I know that Ryan Day was not going to make any commitments right after the game in the press conference or anything like that, but this has to be McCord's job. He has to come out and say that. Ryan Day does. Ryan Day has to lay it out there. We need a starting quarterback. We got Notre Dame in less than 2 weeks. So, McCord had 28 plays and 6 drives, 3 touchdowns, 3 punts. Devin Brown, 32 plays, 3 drives, 2 touchdown drives, and a turnover on downs in the lower red zone where he did not make a play. He did not make a throw. So got quite a bit of Devin Brown in your eye holes. What do you guys think? Did you see enough to make him the starter? I did not. He had 3 long drives. That's why he had more plays. Kyle had, a few short drives where he just, like 3 plays, and one of them was like a deep bomb to Harrison for a touchdown. He had a couple of those. So that's why McCord had fewer plays. But again, 3 touchdowns passing. And I don't know. I'm not seeing it from Devin Brown. He coughed up the ball there in the second half, I believe it was, on a carry. He got it. He recovered it, got it back. Also, I wanted to note Kyle did not have any interceptions, no turnovers. So that's a step in the right direction. Clean that up. I don't see it from Devin. Honestly, I'm not seeing it. I would love to know if you think Devin should be the starter. You got to tell me why, and you got to make a convincing case because I'm not seeing it. Obviously, they made it a point to get Devin involved in the first half early on, wanted to get him into a rhythm. Kyle took most of the workload and the production, took more shots down the field. He was more accurate, stayed on schedule for the most part. But we still had issues with the O-line too. That killed a couple of those drives, Ryan Day said after the game that Kyle was more poised, more comfortable, and efficient out of the gate. And he says early in games matters. How a quarterback comes out of the gate matters. So he got Kyle got into a rhythm. He did have that 2-minute drill at the end of the first half where Marv couldn't pull down that one on the sideline and get his foot down. Then he had to drop, flat out Marv drop right over the middle. So all in all, they said that Kyle might have missed a read or two. So they're going to watch the film, take it week by week, whatever. But there is pressure on this coaching staff to have this decision solidified. And Ryan Day acknowledged that after the game, that he knows they have Notre Dame in less than 2 weeks. So they're feeling it, and they should feel some pressure as a staff offensively, Devin had the 13-play, 81-yard drive that ended up in a turnover on downs. He had some good throws, some good runs. He had a scramble and a 4th down completion on the scoring drive in the second quarter. But you got to throw that ball when it's 4th down and you're inside the 10. Sorry, the Notre Dame game is on still. This is a ball game. NC State's giving them a freaking ball game here. I'm not overly impressed with Hartman. That O-line is letting NC State into the backfield a lot. Anyway, sorry. Back to the lecture here. So, again, I'm not seeing it from Devin. I see, he can run around maybe a little bit, but I don't see him being that much more athletic or faster than Kyle McCord, So anyway, Ryan Day still kind of bent about the clock rules. Buckeyes had 9 possessions, not counting the one kneel down at the end of the game. So 59 plays if you don't count that kneel down. And the Penguins, they were making full use of the play clock, running the ball often and on 3rd downs, sitting in the huddle until the clock got around 10 seconds. And that the way teams are using the clock and burning it is creating a level of anxiety, Ryan Day said, for the coaching staff on offense, because obviously it's limiting Ohio State to 9 or 10 possessions. That's 1 or 2 less than what they're used to. They're used to about 10, 12, or 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there, depending on how quickly they score. So anyways, talking about Marvin Harrison, Ryan Day said, quote, to see him get those 2 big plays early, that was a deep breath. We targeted him a bunch. We targeted Emeka a bunch. The offense was more efficient as a whole against Youngstown State. On the offensive line, though, he said this, we have urgency. We want improvement now. We're not going to wait around until next week. We can do it now. It's about consistency. We can do it. I know we have the talent. So again, like we talked about last week, it's not about not having the guys. If you would be very, very concerned if you're a Buckeye fan and you're like, so a coach comes out and says, that guy just physically can't make that play. He can't get there or physically can't make that block. But these are just missed assignments, mental errors, So Day wants to see better offensive line play, continued improvement in the execution. You're going to hear that a lot. Execution, efficiency, consistency. You're going to hear all of that shit. And again, he pounded those home in the post-game press conference. He said that it would be about effort and execution from the O-line. On TreVeyon Henderson, he felt like TreVeyon had a strong performance Saturday. He said, I really wanted to try to get the ball to TreVeyon. We've got to keep finding ways to get him the ball, running the ball, but also out in space. He was running downhill today when we had an opportunity to do it. That was a great step. I agree. Definitely was a great step. And a little dicey on that first touchdown where he looked like he fumbled at first. But anyway, it was a touchdown, and that's why they have instant replay, I guess. 3rd down offense is still an issue, though. This is a major sticking point with me personally. 5 of 12. That's horrible. Under 50% is horrible, bad, terrible. We got to be over 65% at least. I'm talking like 75% is my preference. Youngstown State was 7 of 12. We were 5 of 12. That's not good. Last week we were 2 of 12 against Indiana. Fourth down, though, we were 2 of 3 today. That's good. That's good. On the defense, flip it over there. Not a lot to complain about, not a lot to talk about. But we're having a lack of pressure on dropbacks from the front four. We have to blitz. Eichenberg had a sack, but he had to come on a blitz. He was blitzing a lot. Issues in the secondary. The big play that allowed that single touchdown in the first half. So Sonny was replaced by Cam Martinez in the slot. They had a receiver in there. They wanted to bring in, it was like third and 2, third and 4. I forget the exact, it was relatively short. It was like under 4 or 5 yards. Anyways, so they bring in Cam Martinez at the slot in place of Sonny Styles. Boom, they go right after him. What did we see last year? Michigan did that. Boom, right after him. So he gives up the little fade, the slot fade that everybody loves so much. On a third down in their own territory. They were in Youngstown territory on their side of the 50, and that led to the scoring drive. They could have got some stops there and held them to a field goal. They didn't. So anyways, point is, so then going forward in the game, they moved Hancock over to that slot when they pulled Sonny out. So I think that is the move. If you're going to pull Sonny out when the other team brings in a smaller, quicker guy, and you want a better cover guy, I think you got to put Hancock on him. Then you got IGB and Denzel Burke on the outside corners. I think Hancock is obviously a much better cover corner than Cam Martinez. I'm over Cam Martinez, in case you didn't notice. So, yeah, that's about it. Total penalties, 6 for 65. 3 of those were on the O-line, I believe, in the first half. I might have blown right by it. Yeah, 3 on the O-line in the first half. That's what I have. And then this is what happens with the O-line. When you replace 3 starters, you bring in a transfer guy, and it's continued frustration. So they're not done. They're not a finished product, that's for sure. But the 3 costly penalties, 2 by Josh Simmons, I remember off the top of my head, are just, they're correctable mistakes, but it's like, come on, man. We need to see these things perfect. We need perfect O-line play next week against Western Kentucky. Not to win the game, but we need to see it on film, on the tape, to know that, okay, they've cleaned these things up. Because going into Notre Dame, you don't want to have any chinks in the armor, no weak spots, because they're going to target you. So, all right. I got to take my victory shot. Just poured it. A little Weller Special Reserve. Thank you very much. And I'll get this out to you in just a few minutes. So hope you guys are enjoying the football today. We got some good games tonight. What's this Miami score? 10-7, Texas A&M over Miami. It was 10-0. So I'm gonna check out that game. Michigan's up 21-0. Who cares? So this Notre Dame game looks to be the good one. Clemson, Cade Klubnik threw a pick that was a beauty. Nice little rainbow right to the defender. That was a pick 6, by the way. Anyways, so I'm going to get back to the football, and we will see you Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, me, Jeff, and Sean. So we're going to rehash all this, and I really want to see how Sean is going to defend Devin Brown this week and say that he's the starter, because I might just pass out from laughter. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Go Bucks.